So how do you know if you're eating too much sugar? And why does it matter even more if you've had cancer? In this video, I'm going over 5 warning signs that you may be eating a bit too much sugar, and I'll be giving you some really helpful tips that I personally used to cut back on it. Now I know what you're thinking. After everything I've been through with cancer, do I really have to give up sugar too? I totally get it. I mean, we all deserve to indulge from time to time, but eating too much sugar can lead to big health problems that become even more serious if you've had cancer, like weight gain, inflammation, a weakened immune system, but also cancer cells love sugar. Sugar feeds cancer cells more than anything else you eat. So cutting back on sugar can be one of the best things you can do to keep your cancer from coming back. Now the question is, how do I know if I'm eating too much sugar? Well, you know that mid-afternoon slump where you feel like you need a nap before dinner? We've all been there. But if you feel yourself crashing and burning more than you used to before you had cancer, your blood sugar levels may be out of control. You see, after you've had cancer treatment, even months or years later, your body can be more sensitive to insulin spikes from sugar. Not many people talk about this. Your oncologist likely would not have mentioned it. But you know when you eat too much candy and you get a boost of energy because your blood sugar spikes, but then they crash and leave you exhausted about 30 minutes later? Well, after cancer, because you can be more sensitive to insulin, that crash can hit you like a ton of bricks. So the first sign that you may be eating too much sugar is that you constantly feel drained of energy, especially after eating a meal. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I know you're serious about beating cancer. So here's another bummer. It's not only sugar that can have this effect on your body, it's all refined carbohydrates as well. So that's basically anything made with white flour, like white bread, white pasta, and white rice will do the same because your body reacts to refined carbs basically in the same way that it does to sugar. So if you're constantly struggling with fatigue, have a look at how much sugar or refined carbs you're eating because it may be time to make some changes. Also, you likely already know this, but the more sugar you eat, the more you crave it. So this is where you need to be honest with yourself. Do you finish a meal and immediately start thinking about dessert? Or maybe you mean to only have one piece of chocolate, but then that one piece turns into a whole bar? So sign number 2 that you're eating too much sugar is that you crave it every day. But I mean, nobody's blaming you. Sugar is incredibly addictive. And if you're always craving it, that's your body's way of telling you you're addicted to it. But then the more you give in to those cravings, the harder it can be to break free from them. It's like a vicious cycle. And here's the real kicker. After cancer, giving into your sugar cravings can be especially dangerous because you're setting yourself up for issues like chronic inflammation or insulin resistance, which puts you at a much higher risk of having your cancer come back. So how can you stop sugar cravings? Well, it's not easy, but a good place to start is to continuously replace your cookies or chocolate with fruit or something else you enjoy eating that doesn't contain any refined sugar whenever you crave something sweet. It may not be as satisfying at first, but the more you choose the healthier option, the more you'll get used to it, and eventually you will train your taste buds to enjoy it just as much. And if you have a strong sugar addiction, you may be thinking, yeah, right. But trust me, I know it's possible because I've done it myself. Obviously, it takes some discipline, but you will get there. And yes, fruit does contain a form of sugar, but also a lot of fiber and vitamins that help to stabilize your blood sugar levels rather than sending you on a sugar roller coaster. Also, if your favorite jeans are feeling a little snugger than usual, sugar and refined carbs are likely to blame. Any excess sugar we eat is stored as fat, and unfortunately, the place it loves to hang out the most is right around the belly. Belly fat or visceral fat is particularly dangerous because it wraps around your internal organs, causing inflammation. And after cancer, you want to reduce inflammation as much as possible because cancer cells thrive in an inflammatory environment. So when you think about it, the thing you've been fighting against could be fueled by what you're eating. Not good. So sign number 3 that you're eating too much sugar is that you're slowly gaining weight around your midsection, but having excess belly fat can also mess with your hormones, making it harder to lose weight and avoid getting diabetes. I have another video titled The Secret to Losing Belly Fat After Cancer, where I go over some really surprising underlying factors for weight gain like inflammation, stress, or having an unhealthy gut. So if you're trying to lose weight after cancer, a great place to start is to swap out any white bread, white pasta, or cereal for whole grain versions because refined carbs and sugar aren't just the biggest culprits for weight gain, but also for chronic inflammation. Now let's talk about keeping your immune system strong after cancer. Your immune system inevitably takes a hit from cancer treatments. So after you finish treatment, you'll want to focus on rebuilding it and continuously keeping it strong even years later or for the rest of your life, really. You see, your immune system is your main defense against cancer cells. The stronger it is, the better it will be at keeping any precancerous cells from turning into cancer and preventing cancer recurrence. And I know a lot of cancer survivors who think, okay, I take a multivitamin every day that has vitamin C in it, and that should be enough to keep my immune system strong. But then they go and eat pancakes with sugary syrup and pizza or white pasta for dinner. And eating these refined carbs and sugar will weaken your immune system, and they can negate all of the benefits you're getting from the multivitamin. So sign number 4 that you're eating too much sugar is if you're getting sick often. That means if you're catching every cold, flu, or bug that goes around, it might be time to take a closer look at how much sugar and refined carbs you're eating. I have another video on the secret to cutting back on sugar after cancer, where I dive deeper on how to effectively reduce your cravings for it if that's something you struggle with. And I share exactly what I did to go from craving sugar after every meal to honestly never again. So I'll link that in the description below for you to watch next. But the next thing we have to talk about is something that doesn't get nearly enough attention, and that's how sugar affects your gut health. Did you know that 70% of your immune system is located in your gut? This is because your gut is home to a huge number of immune cells like T cells and microorganisms that help to control your overall health. So basically, your gut protects your body from a number of different invaders like bacteria, viruses, and toxins. So obviously after cancer and when you're trying to strengthen your immune system, you want your gut to be in top shape. So I'm sure you can guess what I'm going to say now. Sugar is horrible for your gut. When we eat too much sugar or refined carbs, it feeds the bad bacteria in our gut, throwing your gut microbiome completely out of whack and leaving you with bloating, gas, and even more serious conditions like leaky gut syndrome. And as you may already know, an unhealthy gut will lead to more inflammation within your body. So breaking news, if you're constantly feeling bloated and gassy, your gut might be trying to tell you something. So sign number 5 that you're eating too much sugar is you have persistent digestive issues. And on the flip side, a healthy gut helps to regulate inflammation in your body and supports your immune system and helps to absorb the nutrients and vitamins from the foods you're eating, which will in turn prevent you from getting sick. So cutting back on sugar and white flour is one of the best things you can do for your gut after cancer. Now, cutting back on sugar doesn't mean giving it up entirely. It's all about balance. You can certainly enjoy the occasional treat if you're focusing on eating foods that will support your gut health and your immune system around 90% of the time. I've had so many of my patients tell me that after finishing cancer treatment, they realized that when they ate sugar, it made them feel even worse. And once they cut back on it, they started to feel a lot better. They had more energy, less brain fog, and started to lose weight. So if any or all 5 of the signs I've talked about sound a little too familiar, you're certainly not alone. It's human nature to love sugar, so it's not a sign of failure or weakness if you give in to your cravings for it. But if you're serious about beating cancer or keeping it from coming back, it may be time to start making some changes. Just remember, you don't have to do it all at once. Small, gradual steps can make a big difference and will make you more likely to stick with these changes long term. So tell me, what's the one sugary food you're thinking about cutting back on? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And I'm also giving you a link below to sign up for my weekly newsletter on more cancer-fighting tips and delicious recipes. And I'm linking another video for you to watch next on doing a 30-day sugar-free challenge. So until next time, stay strong and stay healthy. Bye for now.